Hey guys, welcome or welcome back, depending on whether you're finding me for the first time or if you are a regular. Either way, I appreciate you. Today we're going to talk about Venus in Cancer. Venus moves into Cancer on the 2nd of June and moves out on the 26th of June 2021. So she will spend 24 days in this beautiful energy. So let's have a conversation first and foremost about Venus. So Venus is the energy of relationships, balance, harmony, success, fairness, beauty, sensual experience, sensual love, right? Anything you can see, hear, taste, touch, or smell is the realm of Venus. And she asks you to wear your heart on your sleeve, right? She has dominion over intimacy, desire, how we relate to others, pleasure, luxury. She has a lot to do with how we experience wants, needs, and desires, and how we discern between those three things. She loves union. She loves reflection, abundance, things like that, right? Cancer is the energy of roots, home, origin, family, tribe. This is our emotions. This is our nurturing capacity and how we have been nurtured, how we allow ourselves to be nurtured, and how we nurture ourselves. Cancer has to do with our empathic abilities, our shell, our instinctive natures, how readily we emerge from our shell, our sense of security or insecurity, our sensitivities, our memory, and the sea, right? Cancer is all about that beautiful tidal sea. And when you discuss or contemplate the fact that Aphrodite is the foam born, right? Look that story up if you'd like to. She is the product of the sea as her mother. So those two are inextricably linked, beautiful energies. While Venus is in Cancer, there are a whole lot of big things that happen in the cosmos. First, she trines Jupiter. Very watery encounters. She conjuncts the moon. She squares Chiron. She is going to sextile Uranus in conjunct Saturn, who are doing their big square man dance. She will also square Neptune. Yeah. And she's going to have a lot to do with when Jupiter goes retrograde, when the sun moves into Cancer, and then she's going to trine Neptune right before Mercury goes direct. And then she is going to oppose Pluto in her own right, a retrograding Pluto. And then Neptune will turn direct and Venus will move into Leo. 2 days later, she's going to be in conjunct Jupiter. There's just a lot going on with this beautiful goddess energy. So what we're being asked to deal with is our own growth, our own impulses to stay safe, right? And the key players here for Venus season in Cancer are going to be Jupiter and Uranus and Neptune, right? So here's the thing. We can't grow if we're playing it safe. We can't change or transform while we're hiding in our own shell, right? And Uranus asks us to shift our concepts of 3D love. Jupiter asks us to expand them. And Neptune asks us to really be in touch with our ideas of love as a reflection of the greater love, right? If Neptune is our subconscious ideas of love, Venus is our conscious choices in love, right? So there's a difference between love and romance. And Venus tends to be on the romantic side. So this season is going to be asking you to bloom, to trust, right? Because again, we cannot discover love, or we cannot flirt with the boundaries of love while we're in our own shells, while we are being moody and stuck, right? Being afraid to be vulnerable. That might be instinctive. It might be instinctive based on your history, right? And we do see Venus squaring Chiron during this time, really creating an invitation to get right with those energies. And as that's early on, right, in that Venus in Cancer. And then things shift and change. They get a little more dynamic, a little more, what's the word I'd like to use there? As Venus interacts more deeply with Saturn and Uranus, there's a little bit of a sense of restraint, right? Or unwillingness, reticence, yes, reticence to change. And that is, that's a pretty big Cancer energy, right? So again, you know, Venus is the belle of the ball. And if you choose to be the wallflower, then you choose to be the wallflower. That's absolutely okay. But ask yourself if you can risk transformation, dance at the water's edge, so to speak, and allow that higher octave of invitation, right? Allow yourself to really dive deeply and allow that Uranus to kind of be the lever, yeah, that allows you to open more deeply to your subconscious tidal desire, as opposed to just getting caught up in that cycle of want to need, want to need, want to need, right? There are things beyond all of those 3D boundaries, right? And with those larger, wider, deeper Neptune transits, you're being asked to contemplate and consider where you're hiding, right? Perhaps even hiding behind your own skirts, or behind the skirts of your tradition, or just behind the boundaries of your own memory, right? So the way that you create those new boundaries is to allow them, right? To just allow them to be dissolved. And who better to dissolve them, right? Than the goddess of love. I'm just saying. So let's have some conversation. So the Nine of Pentacles, the Page of Cups. Nine of Pentacles, right? Wish fulfillment. Nine of Pentacles, oh no, Nine of Pentacles is all about Oh, look at that. Self-sufficiency. I have got this. I am fully resourced. Nine of Pentacles is a very self-sufficient, self-reliant energy. And as such, the Page of Cups walks in and says, would you be willing to share that? Right? Perhaps there's a new way to feel. That's what the Page of Cups is asking you. Can you be in that energy of sharing? The Eight of Wands is balanced forward motion. Five of Cups is being willing to release your wounds and be in awareness of the cups that are being presented here, right? And so moving away from that energy of being in sadness of the three cups that are spilled and being in acceptance and welcome of the two cups that represent balanced union, right? Can you move forward? Certainly you can. Queen of Pentacles, that beautiful embodied energy, fully resourced, right? Six of Swords, transitioning from one state to another. Again, being asked, what are you willing to release of your history? What are you willing to give up so that you can stand in this fully resourced state as this fully resourced state, right? Are you willing to release your shell so that you can become even more? Well, sure, why not? Page of Wands, again, we are offered a new way to feel. Wands is the energy of motivation, the energy of inspiration, right? This is the juice of your life. What puts your feet on the floor, what allows you to move forward, right? Out of your prior patterning. And Seven of Cups, this is fantasy. This is choice. This is multiple choice, right? Not just one way to be, but perhaps a new way to be. Not just the old ways, the sad ways, but perhaps moving toward the newer ways, the more fully embodied, resourced ways, right? And allowing yourself to transition and not be stuck by where you've been, but be willing to explore where you can go in line with the energy of your own daringness. So let's see what this luminous warrior has to say to us, shall we? He's quite lovely. I like him. The luminous warrior has no enemies in this world or the next. He is impeccable in word and deed. He focuses on his light rather than what hides in the dark. Again, this is that Cancer energy. You cannot shine when you're hiding in the darkness. Since he casts no shadow, he is as radiant as the sun and can transform his most terrible enemy into his ally. His power comes not from the sword, but from speaking his truth at all costs. Right? This is Venus. What is her only weapon? Is love, right? That's all. The luminous warrior reminds you it is important to focus on your power, wisdom, and beauty. Do not be seduced by what seems wrong with you or the world. Remember that intention follows attention, so focus on your positive traits. Feed your light with more light until you feel truly empowered. There will be little need for action as you resolve all situations from within. And that is definitely the Venus weapon of choice, right? It's love. Always lead with compassion. You can't go wrong. Lead with willingness to recreate, to try something new, to be in relation to, right? To create balance, to create harmony, not only in the 3D world, but in the world of your spirit as well, right? And so we've got great balancing, right? This is karma. And right now, this is that Saturn-Uranus square that Venus is going to be interacting with quite heavily, and bringing that soft edge to the hardness of the square between Saturn and Uranus. You know, that perfects on the 14th of June, right in the middle of this Venus and Cancer energy, asking you, right? We know that the key of this Saturn-Uranus square is how you utilize your ability to create your 3D world, and how willing you are to shift it and change it. And the way that we shift and change ourselves, right, is by acquainting ourselves with our desires, right, and getting out of our wants and our needs, and really aligning to that that deep desire within us, and being willing to step over our previous boundaries of what we believed that looked like. And in that, we transform everything, right? You don't get anywhere exciting when you're just staying safe. So put your heart on your sleeve and see what happens, right? See where you get to transform, where you get to transition, how you get to balance, and what happens when you refuse to stay in the dark and everything gets lit up, right? That's how you balance. All right, guys. It's going to be an interesting 24 days. So just try and stay in it. Keep breathing. Remember, when in doubt, feel your way. Right? Feel your way. Big blessings.